Hello everybody and welcome back to Archangelus Gaming. Archangelus here, bringing you some more Space Engineers and Never Surrender. Now yesterday we started on our transatmospheric fighter and I've done a bit of work on her, getting her recharged and ready for a first flight. And here she is. I've added on a connector on the end because sadly not long after I started, the night fell, so I thought, okay, quickly get her on. I've turned most systems off, so I've got to be careful because I didn't actually think about which. Hopefully I've got this right. And there you go. There she is, airborne. So let's put the time of day somewhere in daylight so that we can actually work on this. As you can see, she's aloft. She's floating. So at least to begin with, we have ourselves a nice little flyer. Now over here, I've also started mining for some more iron, but earlier on I did actually mess around with the flyer. I took her out for a bit of a spin, and somewhere over this way, I think it was this way. I think it was over in the valley here. Is a trading station that we could eventually get to. So as you can see, I mean, it's quite a distance from our base. You know, we've got quite a bit of terrain to potentially cover. There's this valley that could potentially prove a hazard. There's another one there. I don't know what the terrain looks like close up. I've not really. We've got, it's quite a lot of hills and valleys here. So if we were to trade with it, this probably isn't going to be the ship for it at the moment. But oh, there it is, over this way. Sorry, my mistake. I got my directions wrong. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, do remember to hit subscribe. Remember to smash that like button, tap that notification bell, leave us a nice comment below. Yeah, as we strive to hit the quota for subscribers. Yeah, let's just keep on going, guys. There you are. You can see the dome over there for the safe zone, nicely over the top of it. We've got what looks to be no way down into this valley, at least not easily. Yeah, because even. I'm sort of flying higher now, trying to find a way in. I mean, you've got this gorge over here, but that seems to just lead up that way. There is no real way for us to safely get down here without a flyer. So, if we were to trade, I'd recommend a transport. Go. There's our base over there. The ice mine's over to the right there. But yeah, nice little test flight for our stripped down flyer. We'll get her back and we'll start on the hydrogen systems, because that is the next big deal, is the hydrogen systems. If we can get that sorted out, we can get transatmospheric get to space. If I could help it, I'd rather not have like an SRM system, you know, like with the space shuttle. Let's go and land this safely. Our nice busy base. Well, I think it's nice anyway. I mean, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, some of you probably think it's but ugly in camo green. Well, it's more like dust covered green, but you know what I mean. Alright, but there we go. An excellent first flight. Yeah, so if we get the thrusters in block 4, we'll get the batteries, if I can find them, along with my brain. Put them on recharge mode. There we go. So, whilst they are recharging, we can crack on with what we got next. Okay, so did not mean to do that. There we go. Right, let's get rid of what we don't need. Don't need landing gear, batteries, solar panels. Most of the stuff we don't need. Get rid of the O2 tanks. Still need that, but we'll tell you what, let's just concentrate on these at the moment, along with, yeah, we'll just add all that in. There we go. Sorry, I had a choking session earlier on some spittle, went down the wrong hole, suffering from it ever since now. Okay. Obviously, we're going to need thrusters in all directions, like we did with the atmospherics. Now, we've got a large connection on the back. We've got small connections all the way around. So, we've got plenty of places to put these engines. What I don't have is any of the materials needed to be able to build any of this. So let's get some interior, we'll get some steel plate, and then we can crack on from there. We'll also grab about 50 units of that as well. We'll grab 50 units of that. There we go. Yeah, I still haven't welded up that platform that we made over there. Still need to finish it off at some point. I'll do that when I've got a bit of spare time. Fortunately, I've got loads of real-world projects that are taking up my time. Okay, the solar panels we will probably move in the end. We will probably have one on the top, one underneath, and if we can, one on each of the sides. Right, for now, let's add in our engines. We'll try and have them at the same point we have our atmospherics. Let's have a bit more of an aerial view of this. Hello. Right. Now, considering the fact that hydrogen, as far as I'm aware, does travel through small grid, sorry, small conveyors, we should be fine. So if we go in a similar light, maybe something like this. I have no idea how I'm going to actually make this look handsome, but we'll figure it out, I guess. I mean, you know, it's like with all things, you know, there's going to be a lot of tests, a lot of trials, a lot of grief and sorrows as we go along. I mean, I suppose what we could do is add in small manoeuvring thrusters there, and there. Now in space we are going to need the down direction, so right. So at the moment we got up, down, we got left and right, we got forward. We don't have the most crucial one, which is backwards. I'm just trying to think how to incorporate that in. Because if I move those two here and here, maybe move these more forward and have them splay out, and then that on top, maybe where this panel is here, coming out, or it might be the panel in front, depending on how this works. Actually, yeah. So if we incorporate that, and then that, then we can see where our thruster array will sit, which looks to be like that. That's not too bad, it's not that much in the way, so I mean, that's something I could potentially live with. Or we could put it underneath, actually. All things considering, maybe tuck it away a bit more. Ah! Tell you what, let's get rid of that. Question is how I'm going to see under there. Um, like that. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where's gravel? Gravel! Where are you, gravel? Concrete, even. There we go. Then we want dust. There we go. So more of an underslung design. We could probably build something around the landing gear area, sort of like make something of that later on when we put some armour on it. And then if we do now similar to this side. Let's see. Tail end is at the triangle. Okay. Out of the way. We'll weld these up. We'll do the same trick again. We'll get rid of some of the flooring. And we will add in our directional thruster. Like so. Add back in our flooring. Ideally speaking, I could do it over there and just sort of like hover around it, but okay. So now we've got the atmospheric thrusters back in place. We can also now get our hydrogen thrusters back in place, and it would also help if I changed it back to the right colour. There we go. Well, that sort of streamlines that a bit more. We'll do something to sort of like maybe build it out in like a wedge or something like that. But yeah, we will figure this out as we go along. Like with any good projects, it starts off looking weird, ends up looking great in the end. Right, we still need reactionals. So we need reverse thrust. Now, the good news is, I suppose if you will, is we've got access to just doing 4 reverse small thrusters just to sort of slow us down. Now what we could do is if we wanted more, we could add in some sort of conveyor block system. But that is going to be one of those things we're going to have to test once we get spacebound. So yeah, let's start by getting this welded up. We'll start with the big thrusters first. I'll do it a side at a time, and then we can then add in the conveyors as we go. I mean, she's starting to take some form, which is wonderful news. Actually, just make sure I'm messed up here. Maybe I should bring it much closer. Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's do that. Let's bring her closer, because right now she is quite a distance away. It's difficult to work on. If I also rotate her as well. Make it easier to get to either side. There we go. Question is now, I can't remember which side I was working on. Oh yeah, this one. Let's ditch the internal plates and it should be fine. So then weld everything else up. Really? Okay. Let's start with that, as we're almost full inventoried. Alright, so we should have larger metal grids on all three of them. Yeah, various different ones, because that one's got 12 out of 22. So if it's metal grid and large steel tube, might as well just make 100 of each. I think I've got some extra components I don't need at the moment. Might as well put them into some of these other components. shouldn't have anything left. Yes. Oh, that's why. Been the don'ts. Couldn't get 7 more large steel tubes because the obvious reason that they are massive. They took up huge amounts of inventory. I'll sort of grab small thrusters. In the meantime, get the components for them. Finish off one side and then do the other. We'll start with the large engines. Get them finished off. There we go. I mean, she's not exactly going to be the prettiest ship in the fleet, but yeah, for what she's going to be used for. Oops, I forgot to grab the blueprints. Anyway, but yeah, honestly, I'm not really bothered about the appearance that much at this moment in time. It's more of a case of, can we get spacebound? We can get spacebound, means we can start exploring and doing other things. You know. So, I mean, I've already had some comments from you all saying about certain base building stuff that you'd like to see. You know, it's like a 3D printer. It'll probably be better to do that in space, but if you guys want to see a ground version with, you know, it's like a wall printer or something, I can do that. You know, something. We'll make it an easy build rather than one of these more complicated ones. Which we can do in another campaign, say if we do a creative or something like that. Then we can put together a more advanced, more complicated printer system and sort of learn how to use sensors and things like that at the same time. At least that's my view anyway, but I don't know what you guys think. I mean, we could do something like that. I mean, yeah, leave us a comment on you know, what you'd like to see, when, how, what size, colour, frequency, and we can sort something out. You know what, this is getting ridiculous. Do another 100 build. Oh, this time round it is just metal grids. So we'll take that out, save ourselves some of the metal. We'll come back for the rest. Alright, back in a sec, guys. Now that distraction's over. Where were we? That's right, we're just finishing off the big thrusters on the starboard side. Okay, so we got the basics done. Although, frankly, I'm actually more inclined now to put in a second set of the smaller thrusters on each side. So just going to get the components we need. Then that's all of those added. So if we now go in here, we'll add back in our thrusters and we'll turn off the ones that we start from the top. Right, that's a solar panel, so we're good. Hydrogen thrusters, there's the large ones. We'll add in all of the small ones as well. Hydrogen thrusters. We'll put them in off mode. Okay. So question is, will she still fly? So far, so good. She still flies in atmosphere. Yeah, we've got maneuverability still. But we still need to add in the conveyor system. So for this, I think what we're going to do, just lever her out a bit. We'll dock her up where we normally put the Locust. Sort of guessing this as we go along. I mean, I haven't put on the rear camera yet. Missed out on a sale for the automations pack recently. So I'm going to wait for that to come back around so that I can put on the automations camera. Yeah, on the tail here, make it easier for us to dock in. Okay. What I should have done whilst I was in here, no, G groups. There is hydrogen thrusters. Toggle those on and off. what I might have to do is where on the hydrogen tanks I probably need to add in a connector there to be able to dock up, refuel with the hydrogen, because at the moment, from what I've learnt, refineries do not allow, sorry, with the setup we've got, the refineries are not allowing us to pull hydrogen. So if we go into here, go hydrogen tank, there we go. As you see, we've got nothing in there. Even if we hit stockpile, it's not pulling anything. I think the reason behind that is because if we look at the feed, just above our original building, we've got a one-way system. So it's not pulling anything back through towards the our transatmospheric flyer. So that's why I'm thinking about putting that connector in over there. But for now, let's concentrate on what we came here for. I just realised something. I'm an absolute idiot. I've given us no way of connecting these up. I'm a muppet. Right, let's get rid of these. So at the moment they're more in the way than anything else. Plus we're getting enough energy from the base. We can deal with them. If I get rid of that top one on the front, that means then we've got a way of connecting the conveyors through to the hydrogen tank in the middle. Right. So we need interior plate. And I've walked straight past it, didn't I? Wow, we've got a lot in there. For now, we'll just grab all the interior that we can. There it is. I suppose if we just connect it like that, I won't be able to use the big connector there. Actually, no, we could. We could. Because what we could do is put on a conveyor converter. Maybe have it that orientation. And then what we can then do is have either of these connect up, or both. So we've got a bit of redundancy on the main thrusters. Okay. Right, so let's try and mirror this now. TP's going down. Then that's straight until we get to the corner piece. Yeah. Right, so we've got a basic framework there for connecting our thrusters together. I mean, I suppose we could go for a bit of redundancy again. We can go barely see what I'm doing here. That was right. Let's grab some components. Grab, say, 10 motors. I think I've got the wrong components here. Motors construction. Oh, I've got the right one. Hey! For some reason I'm always worried I pick up the wrong one. Don't know why, but I do. Alright, so that's in the correct place, so that's good. And then it goes around like that nicely. Better keep an eye on my hydrogen levels for my jetpack as well. Okay. that out of there for the moment. Okay. So far, we've got actually rather a nice looking ship coming along. I don't know about you guys, but I'm liking the form of this, even though we haven't put any armour on her. Okay, so all we need now is motors and construction components. Say 20 for now. Maybe another 20. That should fulfill all our requirements. Okay, so that's one side finished. Ooh. Alright. I can also start to see some forms taking place here as well. I mean, I don't know whether you guys can see it as well as I can, but yeah, she's coming along beautifully. So I think what we'll do is maybe here where these two batteries are. If we were to add a connector going down, put connecting series on top of the hydrogen tanks, and then we can like hover over, come down and connect, refuel the hydrogen tank, and sort of go from there. I mean, later on, what we could also do is add on a, yes, maybe when we get space-based, add on like a some sort of connection point at the front, and sort of add on like drill bits, welders, whatever, to create ourselves like some sort of space base. But we are getting somewhere. All right. Okay, I'm conscious I've been taking up quite a lot of your time, so what I will do now, just quickly, just to finish off, I'm just going to add on that one last connector that we've been talking about, and then what am I doing? That goes in there, 5, and then what I'll do is I'll connect her up, refuel her. We'll at least get her to a point where we can test run to space and back again. If we can get back from the edge of space, I'd say that'd be a good good test flight. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, we need some interior plate. Oh, come on. No, maybe not that amount. Let's go 50 units of that. Another 40 units of that. 36 units of that. Oh yeah, and we haven't connected these up yet. Oops. My bad. Oh, brilliant idea. I've just had a brilliant idea. We've got another connection port right here. Okay. Let's get this welded up, because it'd be nice to be able to see the proverbial wood for the trees. Right. I remember as a kid there was a joke that went along the lines of there was once a young man who built a rocket completely out of wood. Wooden nose cone, wooden shell, wooden engine. The only problem is wouldn't go. I was just remembering at one point I actually, as a joke, created an entire ship with the wood texture, just to say that this one would go. Just as a bit of a laugh. I know, bit of a lame joke, but I just thought I'd share with you one of my fonder memories of Space Engineers. I know some of you probably think it's lame, but you know what? My memory, I enjoyed it. If it's lame to other people, then I apologise if that you feel that way. Honestly, like the Addams Family, I'm creepy and I'm quirky. I mean, I am the product of the late 70s and 80s, so right, there we have that. This thing doesn't have a cargo bay, by the way. I'll just point that out to you guys. It's just a trans-atmospheric ship at this moment in time. But so we wouldn't be able to transfer anything. However, if I was to move the connector forward and put in a large cargo container here, well, maybe not a large one. You know, we could actually have at least some cargo capacity on this ship. Maybe put one here or something, and then we can sort of like connect things up a bit better. But for now, I think our primary concept is to get this thing connected up to the hydrogen tanks over here. So what my suggestion is now, turn that into the T-piece, if I can find it. And then maybe add on we'll say 2 straights and a connector on top. So add the connector in there. Make sure we weld everything up. Right. I think the final thing we'll do today is see if we can get some hydrogen into the tanks. Whoop! A little too far. Too busy zooming in, I forgot to let go of the directional thruster key. Oh, look at that. Okay. Tank. Oh, maybe we need some charge. So, yeah, let's try that again. No. I was told give it a minute. Sometimes it can take some time. Oh, there we go. Stockpile work. Made it work. So, oh, look at that. Fill this baby up in no time at this rate. There we have it. So, what we'll do is a little bit of a jolt there as it disconnects. G, okay. So we go hydrogen tank. We'll go stockpile on the north, oxygen tank, stockpile on the north. That's a good point. I didn't think about the oxygen. So let's fill the oxygen tank up, because we will need to breathe in space, obviously. There we go. So it's a hydrogen tank full, oxygen tank's full. Alright. and see if we can go into space. In the bottom, just to the right of the toolbar, you'll see P gravity. If we can hit 0 gravity, obviously we know we've done it. Then we just need to come back down. And then finding our base is going to be the next major challenge. Because right now, in our rather unorthodox ship, we are heading to the stars, or at least attempting to. 0.94 gravity, 0.9392. We are getting there. Oh, looks like our atmospherics have come to an end. So is that about 5 kilometers off of the planet's surface? Our hydrogen thrusters are burning, so we are on our way. We can see the starts of the edge of the planet's atmosphere. We're at 0.6-ish gravity, and we are still climbing. Nine kilometers from our base now. See what I mean about hydrogen thrusters? They are much faster than atmospherics. Do a lot more with them, but they do use copious quantities of hydrogen. A bit like our jetpacks. There we go, 0.4. We've just gone through 0.4. We're heading towards 0.3. We are a little over 13 kilometers away now. Point 3. Come on, girl, you can do it. Point 2. I mean, at this stage we are still affected by gravity, so it will pull us back in. But we are getting there. Gravity is actually getting weaker more quickly now, I believe. I can't remember the exact distance away we're going to be before gravity will no longer be an issue for us. But we can find that out together. Still at a 90-degree arc. 0.12 of gravity. .9, 0.09, sorry. .27.5 kilometers from our base. Come on, girl. .08. And it seems to be stuck at .08 at the moment. Oh, there we go. 07. 30 kilometers away. 30 kilometers. That's incredible. .06. We may need to think about additional hydrogen tanks, because just getting this far we're almost at half fuel, and that is quite a lot. On the return trip we could probably do ourselves some favours, allow gravity to do its thing, pull us in. That will save us some fuel. But yeah, there we go. 34. Oh, we are at zero gravity. There we have it. We are spacebound. Some asteroids in the local vicinity. So if we ever wanted to, we could go there. We could probably start mining some iron and things like that. But wow. Okay. Let's head home. There we go, being affected by the gravity. I'm now not using. We can switch off the hydrogen thrusters, because at the moment we're doing 104 meters per second. The gravity of the Earth-like is pulling us in as well, so we won't have to do much. I mean, we're roughly on course. And maybe that tank will do us. I mean, if we were to head towards that asteroid belt that we saw, maybe we'll be fine. It's really cool seeing these engines this close. Wow, is it really 5 minutes past 12 already? Oh, I didn't see that before. That's cool. So it's between, just above our knees, we've got the hydrogen power. Some keypads. We've got an artificial gravity display. Oh, so I don't need to use that. Okay. But the only thing I will do is I'm going to change the... is it top left? Yeah. Change that to a digital clock. I prefer a digital clock in front of me. We're at quarter gravity and climbing. whilst we're here, let's change the time offset. We mean to change that back. If we were to add on more weight, this thing will become a lot more heavier, more unwieldy. We're probably going to use a lot more fuel, so I am still considering that second hydrogen, maybe even third hydrogen tank. Maybe if I was to bring, where we've got those T pieces, hopefully if I can get it in the right place, I can maybe connect them on directly onto the hydrogen engines. We can build around that, and then but yeah, I'd say that's a successful first flight so far. We haven't landed yet. I mean, we are about 4,000 meters from the surface, so let's turn on our atmospherics. I think our atmospherics are trying to reverse thrust. Tell you what we'll do, we'll help it out, we'll level out. All right. Okay. Could have probably have activated the atmospherics a lot sooner. Now where's our base? Our base is actually right below us. Now, where are we in relation? Alright, still quite high, so... Alright, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are now safely back on the planet's surface. We have gone to space and back. I would say that's a success so far. You know, yeah, she doesn't have much armor. We need to get on a couple of hydrogen tanks, but she flew to space. I'm so stoked with that. Thank you guys for joining me for this historic moment, and I'll catch you next time on Space Engineers Never Surrender.